Okay, this portion of our trip, we're driving through Connecticut. We just drove a little bit through Rhode Island, where I must say that the people were much more engaging than some of our previous experience in Massachusetts, just saying. Anywho, we're in Connecticut. We're in the Windsor, Connecticut area. Now, I have no idea where this ancestor lived, but for all our Grant relatives, you know who you are. Ebenezer Grant was born in this general area around 1723 or 1724. Don't know where, but he was born in Windsor, Connecticut. So somewhere in this general 5-mile radius, I would say, is where Ebenezer Grant is from. So there you go.
Beautiful old homes.
Yeah, they are.
Oh
my
I
word.
want to take that home with me.
Oh. There was some major oxygen removal from the car.
And now there's home envy.
Oh. Well, we have car envy because we like the rental better and we like our own cars. So we're just driving through Connecticut, and just thought we'd show you the scenery. It looks like a lot of other scenery, but still it's Connecticut, and we've never been here before, so you might as well see it. It's pretty. Okay, Grant relatives, we are in the general area of Litchfield, Connecticut, where Ebenezer Grant married, died, and is buried. I don't know the exact location, but we're in the general area. So those Grants lived in some beautiful, beautiful country. In fact, there was a cemetery back there. Still traveling through Connecticut, but man, is this
Continue
gorgeous.
25 miles on Cornwall Bridge Road.
Apparently we're on Cornwall Bridge Road.
And we're going to continue for 25 miles.
Yes, in case anybody's looking for us. Just so you know, we are now headed west. Once we left Massachusetts, we headed a little south, and now we're on the road west to start the trek home. And as fun as this has been and beautiful, we're looking forward to being home. Okay, this probably looks like Litchfield and everywhere else we've been, but just for my Grant people, Isaac Grant was born here in Goshen, Connecticut, April of 1759 or 60. It wasn't sure, but again, just a general area. But this is part of what we want to do when we're on road trips, is at least see the general area of where our ancestors were, get more of a feeling for where they lived and the type of life they had as best we can. I'd probably have to do a lot of research to even try to figure out where they lived. If that info is available, maybe on some old city records somewhere, they might have that kind of info. But for now, this is as good as it gets because we're driving to our hotel for the night. So we left Massachusetts this morning, drove through parts of Rhode Island, drove a lot through Connecticut, and now we're off to a hotel in Pennsylvania. Okay, we are in Pennsylvania, and who knew? There's a tunnel. Sandy's excited.
Yay! Said Sandy never.
It says to stay in lane, remove your sunglasses, turn on your headlights. A lot of rules about going through tunnels. Oh my word, it's rather narrow, especially when you're next to a truck.
But it looks like this doesn't look like a very long one. Doesn't that look like there's light down there?
It looks like it. By the way, if you're ever in Boston, you have the opportunity to go through tunnels 4 or 5 times a day.
There was one day where we went through tunnels 6 times in one day, and one of those tunnels is really long, and we had to go through it 2 or 3 times. Just saying. It was no big deal.
Tunnels don't bother me so much, but
Whatever.
I am height phobic. What is that?
So am I.
Whatever that
it
is.
Yep.
I can't do heights.
Nope.
I'm a bridge thing. I'm better at bridges. I don't hyperventilate so much anymore.
And I have one son who has no problem with heights, and I have a son and a daughter who are just like me. Don't make me get on anything tall.
I know climbing the ladder, I can't get on a roof.
No.
Oh, look.
Oh, look, we get to end this one and go through another one. Oh, isn't that special?
Kittatinny Mountain. What kind of name is that?
not cross center line. Okay.
I did not realize that tunnels were such a big thing.
No, we're just going through a mountain this time. At least we're not underwater. I don't know what that matters, but
Well, and I know we've done that a couple of times.
Yes.
In fact, we did it in Baltimore when underwater.
and there is light at the end of this tunnel as well. Maybe there'll be another tunnel.
There's still one coming before the trip's done, but I'm not telling
yeah.
anyone anywhere where it
Yeah.
is till it gets here.
Yeah, I know exactly where that one is. Although that's surrounded by beautiful scenery.
One of
Oh,
my favorite
goodness.
drives, so now you have to stay tuned to find out what it is. It's one of the best parts of the trip to me.
Yep. Okay.
There you go. There's Pennsylvania and it's bridge time in Pennsylvania. We're getting really close to getting outside of Pennsylvania on the west side. We are now on the high freeway that will eventually take us almost home. We do have a few more stops, but I-70 is the ticket back to the west coast, and that's what we're on. So, hey, bridges.
And 45-mile speed limits.
The other thing the west coast has is actually 80-mile-an-hour speed limits.
That's in Utah.
Yeah. But other places even go to 75.
Yes.
Until you start hitting the Midwest, they don't want you to go that fast. Alright, so we are driving through the flatlands of Illinois. Still green, very flat.
Nothing like all the trees and hills we just went through.
No, I haven't seen straight land for a lot of days. So many trees and hills, but we're getting back into flatland, and then we'll get into mountain and desert. We are entering St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to stop here for a couple of days, but I've seen the top of the arch, and now it's playing hide and seek. Let's see if it comes back out. We're crossing the Mississippi in St. Louis. You have to cross it both ways. Once you cross it one way, if you're going back, you got to cross it again. And there's downtown St. Louis.
And this is the view right out our hotel window. We may be up a little high. Can you see all that? And tomorrow we will take you along on our adventure. And here's our adventure for today. A Cubs St. Louis game. And we're headed to our seats. We are so excited.